All right, let's go back to our top story now. Mitt Romney's big speech at the Republican National Convention.
ABC News senior Washington editor Rick Klein's live in Tampa. Good morning, Rick. I got to ask you, well, first of all, thanks for coming on the show. We know that you're staying up late with us. But what's next for the Romney campaign? Did he lay out enough of his personality and his platform in last night's speech?
He built his rationale for candidacy around his autobiography, and he told that story in new and compelling ways. This wasn't a brand new Mitt Romney, though. People have talked about his failure to connect, his failure to present a softer side. We didn't get any of that, but we may never get that. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee we're not going to see a Mitt Romney that the nation is going to fall in love with. But what we saw was a Mitt Romney presenting his rationale for candidacy, laying it out there, and doing it I think, in a really interesting way. This country is angry, and it's also disappointed. He played up the disappointment. He knows that is where undecided voters are. They are disappointed in President Obama. They aren't necessarily angry with him.
And one of the quirkiest, oddest standout moments last night had to be Clint Eastwood's appearance there. Certainly riled up the crowd, but was a little bit of a rambling address there at times. What did you think of that appearance, and then how did the president respond?
It was downright strange, and I think it's going to be a politically polarizing kind of weirdness. On one level, you said, wow, here's this man, this movie star who's up there talking to an empty chair in primetime television. It was very, very strange for people in the hall to even understand what was going on, much less viewers at home. On the other side, if you're someone who really isn't into politics and is watching this with a skeptical eye, and you see this movie star go on there and do something totally unexpected, maybe you think this is the kind of breath of fresh air that you need. In any event, President Obama wasted no time and responded. He took to Twitter to send a very clear message that, you know what, there is someone sitting in a very important chair, that of the president's chair.
Oh, you got to love the back and forth.
This seat's taken is what that tweet said. Very interesting.
Well, Rick, we've heard so much about this war on women, and Ann Romney really making a case saying, I love you, women. If you look at the speakers, I believe 6 of the 9 primetime speakers were either minorities or females. And Mitt making a case, half of my cabinet back in Massachusetts was female, as was my chief of staff, my lieutenant governor. Did he make a strong enough case, though, to appeal to those single female voters and even a lot of the other women that are on the fence?
He started getting there, but I think it may be a little bit too much of a blunt instrument to just go out there and say, I've pointed women to lots of places, I love lots of women. You need to do it on the issues. And I think the Romney campaign knows that, but they needed people to understand the biography behind it before he gets to that.
Absolutely, and rectify that with some policy decisions that he's made, including wanting to defund Planned Parenthood and also the party platform of wanting to ban abortion in all cases. So interesting pitch to women there. Rick, we appreciate you staying up with us late again live in Tampa. We'll be back with more right after this.